Good afternoon po. Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Payawin Gubat Sorsogon. Today is March 2025, March 25, 2026 po pala. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contract 25FL0136, LGU Hospitals, Gubat District Hospital, Sorsogon, Gubat Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Iwana C. Calagos, Back Chairman.
Present.
Levi D. Pura Jr., Back Vice Chairman.
Present.
Jesse Duran Milty, Back Member. Leia Fontanales, Back Member. Abby Rodriguez, Planning Representative. Cesar Lucy, Back Member.
Present.
Madam Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum and wala pong presence na contractor dito.
Okay, good afternoon. Since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows. First, basic data, contract data, requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins and supplemental to be issued, questions, comments from the bidders and replies of the BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Abby Rodriguez.
Basic contract data. Basic contract data 25FL0136. Contract name LGU Hospitals, Gubat District Hospital, Sorsogon. Contract location Gubat, Sorsogon. The approved budget for the contract for ABC is 9,950,000 pesos. Source of fund FY 2025 GAA. Contract duration is 162 calendar days. Predetermined and workable number of days 42 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents, 10,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on April 8, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids, April 8, 2026 immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work, the code is BIR, Buildings Repair. Scope of works, this project involves the repair and rehabilitation of various damaged rooms within Gubat District Hospital, as well as the reconditioning of existing drainage structures. Objective, improve workspaces or facilities to provide safer and more effective healthcare services. Here's the geotag photos. The environmental clearance. The proof of ownership, and the permit to construct. The detailed engineering design plan of LGU Hospital, Gubat District Hospital. Requirements of bidding documents. Instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, DPWH Blue Book, Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Here's the sample of bid data sheet. These are all downloadable from DPWH website or PJEP's website. The special conditions of contract. The bill of quantities. Minimum manpower requirement for project manager must have handled infrastructure projects, project engineer DPWH accredited DE, materials engineer DPWH accredited ME, general construction foreman must have handled similar projects, safety health officer must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. Minimum equipment requirement. Dump truck all models 1 unit, plate compactor 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, boom truck 1 unit, and cargo service truck 1 unit.
Key points po. The lowest calculated responsive bid will be used as the criteria for award. The amount of the advance payment is 15% of the total contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payments shall be first charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted, to the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity within 10 days of delivery from notice of award. Sinusunod po natin ang two-envelope system, where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical documents, while the second envelope contains the financial proposals. Ang bid validity po natin is 120 calendar days. Yan po ang ating sealing and marking. Original technical, original financial shall be enclosed in a single envelope, marked original bid. Ganun din po sa ating copy, marked copy 1. Each envelope shall contain the name, the contract bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient, bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids. Lahat po yan, ang copy 1 and original bid shall be then enclosed in the mother envelope. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient, bank, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date, time of the opening of bids. Unsealed and marked bids shall not be accepted. Not compressed and password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked shall be accepted. Improperly compressed and password protected shall be accepted. Submission and receipt of bids. For bid modifications must be submitted before the deadline of the submission of bids. Bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. However, they shall submit new bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as a modification. For letter withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bid submission, bidders shall send another bid, equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong two modes of submission in bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid, either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa Back Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon 2nd DO, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids naman po, yan po ay sa electronic bids _Sorsogon 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Eligibility criteria. To be eligible to participate in the bidding of the said contract, a bidder must be a duly licensed Filipino citizen or sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and in which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and in which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture, as per section 52.4.2.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under treaty or international or executive agreement as provided in section 4 of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid PCAM license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractor under small a and small b categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding must be in the document request list of the PhilJobs website and secure a printout copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila. Contractors' eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH contractor profile eligibility process and subject for further post-qualification. We encourage our bidders to enroll in the CWA to facilitate the past evaluation of the eligibility. If they have enrolled in the CWA, ito po ang kailangang submit ng mga documents. Pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture agreement, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, joint venture agreement if applicable. For those naman po na hindi pa naka-enroll sa CWA, ito naman po ang kailangan submit ng mga documents as eligibility documents. PhilJobs Certificate of Registration, pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, by joint venture agreement if applicable. Ito naman po ang mandatory requirements, documents compromising the technical components. Bid security in the form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2%. Surety bond, callable upon demand, 5%. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng RA 12009 sa standard format po ng ating bid securing declaration. Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to be made, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreement. Latest General Information Sheet or GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership duly received by the SEC for corporations. Ito po ay for corporations lang. If sole proprietorship po, hindi na po kailangan ito. ISO Certificate 9001 to 2015 certification or its latest version as applicable in DO 110 series of 2024. Omnibus Sworn Statement duly notarized. Please be guided po ulit ng ating standard format for Omnibus Sworn Statement as discussed po sa RA 12009. Any omissions po sa mga provisions ng Omnibus Sworn Statement shall be grounds for disqualification. Ganun din po sa bid securing declaration. Eligibility requirements. Submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in view of valid tax clearance. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BIR for bidding purposes is not applicable. Form of tax clearance. So dapat po tax clearance po talaga. Hindi po ang renewal, hindi po yung for bidding purposes, kundi yung tax clearance po talaga. Statement of the bidder on ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Yan po ang sample natin bid securing declaration and omnibus sworn statement. For financial proposal, ang laman naman po yan ay ang bid form. Summary bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimate including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment. Cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule. Other documents required in the bidding documents. Please be guided po ng ating standard format sa ating bid form. Yan po. Please be guided na lang po ng RA 12009. Any omission din po sa mga provisions ng ating bid form shall be grounds po for disqualification. For detailed evaluation of bid, ang purpose po niyan is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids. Ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. The method, a non-discretionary criterion shall be used which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures versus bid price in words, bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating mga bidder of the no contract rule, prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until the issuance of award. For post-qualification naman po, ang purpose niyan is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all requirements and conditions specified in the bidding documents to be declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. A method and non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. For post-qualification, in compliance po with DO9 Series 2012, key personnel verification. If a proposed key personnel, technical personnel, is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. 2. He/she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the procuring entity. For equipment verification naman po, also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. Any piece of equipment not in the specified location, the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reasons for bidders' disqualification. A. Late submission of bids without valid reason. Submission of patently insufficient bids. Under po niyan, 1. Submission of the expired field job certificate. 2. Failure to include certificate of employment contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm and curriculum vitae. Failure to submit the required bid form. Kuminsan po mali ang bid form na ina-attach, luma pa. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms. Submission of bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per DO9 Series 2012. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Insufficient NFCC, insufficient SLCC. Thank you.
So, may mga tanong pa po. Since we have no more matters to discuss, this pre-bid conference